Now, do you think it's fair to say that Daredevil is the sluttiest superhero of the MCU?
That is an insane question.
He has a lot of girlfriends.
He does.
Is he a slut? How am I supposed to... What is it? Are you qualified to do this job?
Yes. No. The character Matt Murdock, he gets around.
He gets around. Statistically speaking.
He does get around, yes.
He certainly appears that way. I mean, somebody got to get that dude tested already, right?
Statistically speaking, right?
Yeah, somebody's bound to catch something.
All right, yeah, let's go with it. He is the sluttiest.
Own it, right?
Yeah, let's own it.
Empowering. It's, yeah.
I'm going to say no. I think there are sluttier ones out there, you know.
I think he means well, right? His heart's in the right place.
Is it?
I mean, listen, love.
I mean,
Love's complicated.
love is complicated, and I think, it's about finding the right person.
That's a running joke we have on the writer's room, you know what I mean? Matt's walk of shame is a sad bit of... I actually think that in our world, he may have matured just a little bit. And I hold hope that he will find his one pure love.
I can see you're not entirely convinced.
You guys have become staples of Marvel television at this point, but which Marvel character would you be the most interested in doing a film for?
Oh, wow.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight? Moon Knight would be fun.
Actually, wait, no, Daredevil.
I mean, to be honest, this would be great.
Of course. Yeah.
That's why this show is so comfortable walking into for us, because obviously once you start getting a little bit more into the real world we all live in, very street level, that's the world we shoot our own independent features in. So we were able to kind of dig back in our toolkit of our weird little indie sci-fi horror movies and pepper them in here and make something we're extremely proud of.
With the second season kicking off filming soon, are the scripts locked and loaded for it and ready to go?
Yes-ish. So I usually, or just by the nature of things, I really like to finish the finale after we've started shooting. The old network model, which I grew up in, you were usually maybe 3 scripts ahead at best, and it's really kind of cool to see visual threads and things going on and incorporate them into the finale. So we have 7 scripts locked, loaded, ready to go, but I'm still tinkering around with the final one.
How does the action differentiate when Daredevil fights, Bullseye, or when he's fighting Fisk, or when Punisher comes into the fray, and some of the fights that we haven't seen, maybe against Muse? How do those fights change?
There's a weight to each one of these characters that comes from an emotional place. And the way they're written is very easy for us to lean into. So it's never just a fight, it's what these characters are going through in a very specific moment that we play off of in such a big way. And Dario's really laid a clear vision out for what's coming. And I can't even wait for season 2. That's all I'm gonna say.
You go back to filming for that. You guys are starting Friday, right? But you got some stuff planned.
I think
gotta have some stuff planned.
I think all of Marvel has some stuff planned. Yeah.
There's no further comment at this stage.
How would you describe Daredevil Born Again in one word?
Intense.
I would agree with that.
Mythically street level tragedy.
All hyphenated.
Pulverizing.
Intense.
Vicious.
Dark. Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Having seen the first 2 episodes, I agree completely with you.
I think it's really about power and the shifts of power and where it comes and how it's employed for good and not so good.
I can't shake the feeling that you're gaming the system.
Now, in the first episode, I wanted to ask you about this because there's this incredible shot in the stairwell of your eyes, right? And they're just completely psychotic and unhinged. How important was it for you to get that comic book accurate look of Bullseye across in that moment?
First of all, I will say it means a lot to me that shot meant something to you, because we had done a few takes and I was struggling figuring out how to make this mask work to give a performance. And I went to Phil after we had done a couple takes and I said, Phil, follow me in really close on this next take and I'm going to give you something but it's going to be right in my face. And that's, an essential part of who Bullseye is he is somebody who can get pretty unhinged. So conveying that with a full mask on is a little bit more challenging than otherwise, but I'm always looking for ways to convey that part of this guy who can sometimes present like a normal person and sometimes presents like the last guy in the world you want to end up in a hallway with.
Do you think you might out crazy Colin Farrell?
I mean, it's certainly my goal. Let's put it that way. My goal in life is to out crazy Colin Farrell.
Speaking of comic book accurate, a lot of fans, they want to know if the costume you're wearing is the MCU Bullseye costume or if that's sort of an evolution and we might see him get a new suit as the series goes on.
The version that we get at the beginning of this season is one version of the suit, and God willing, I don't get killed by somebody in the near future. Hopefully you'll get to see more versions of it over time.
Kristen McDuffie has a pretty big impact on Matt in the comics, so how does your version of her shake up his world?
Well, I'm his boss. I mean, I'm not literally his boss, but I am in charge.
Heather is different in a sense that I think there's a lot more to her that meets the eye. I feel like sometimes you meet people, you're like, oh, that's that character and that's what they embody. And I feel like she's a lot more complicated than at first glance.
It really feels like Vanessa is almost wearing the pants in a certain sort of way. So I wanted to get your thoughts. Do you think Vanessa's wearing the pants in this relationship?
No, Vanessa will never wear pants. She knows what she's doing, but she's always feminine. She'll never take the power from him.
Did you do any research in the comics when you got cast as Buck?
Yeah, I bought some original 1980s comics, looking a little different to how I look, given that he's a 6'11" balding man with probably in his 50s.
We know Buck has some deep ties to Wilson Fisk.
The whole thing about Buck in the comics is that he has like top security clearance, and the same is true of my Buck. He's just maybe a bit cheekier and a bit more British than the original plan was for him to be, and I hope that doesn't disappoint people. Brits can be fun and cheeky and dangerous too.
Now, if you could have any of your senses be superpowered, which of the 5 senses would you choose?
Hearing.
Oh, hearing.
I like rock and roll.
I just want to hear it better.
I just want to hear it better.
Further away. Then you don't even have to pay for tickets anymore.
I would need to be able to turn it off. But I'm certainly that person at dinner with my husband, and he's like, oh, you've left the room. And I was like, I know, because the people sitting behind us are having a fight. It's very fascinating. I'll tell you about it later. Stop talking to me. You know what I mean? My ears are always there.
Now, if you could have one of your 5 sensors be superpowered, which sense would you choose?
Time travel, I guess. Time travel, yeah.
Hearing. I think the way our character uses it to stay one step ahead, hearing.
Instinctively, I was going to go with smell, and then I realized how hellish that would be in reality. But you got to go with your first instinct. So yeah, I would have super smell.
I don't know why I'm saying it, but I think smell. Like, I think I just want to taste everything like incredibly.
Would you just pick taste then?
Right. I guess I think of the two as connected. I want like every bite of sushi ever to just taste like the best thing on. I mean, it already tastes pretty good. But
You've been to Sugarfish?
Yes, I have. It's delicious. Very good. And yeah.